Metafix is a show that teaches you how to think in the metagame. I am not here to give you the answers, nor am I going to tell you how to win. Metafix teaches you how to play in the metagame and how to react around the metagame and what is in the metagame. If you're looking for the answers, try HC Realms, check the forums, they have all kinds of neat toys and tools and teams being brought up, and check the results of a lot of the ROC tournaments or any Worlds tournaments to see how teams played out and what teams were used for. I'm just here to help you think.
Yeah, Mike. No, not next Tuesday. Next Tuesday's no... Wednesday. Thursday? Friday? Mike? Hello? Practice night. It's something I talk about a lot with the guys at the Meta Lab. We wish we could get out to more of them. But it does take a fair bit to prep yourself for a lot of the bigger constructed tournaments. And there's things you can do to help kind of point out your team's strengths and weaknesses. Now, I believe I've covered an episode on this in the past. This episode was voted on by the patrons, and they want to hear it again. And I think some of my knowledge from then has updated. I've got a team that I practice with now, which goes a long way. And I'm really hoping that some of the newer knowledge can get passed on, and we can work in that kind of area. So, going into this conversation, when you build a team, you don't have all the answers right off the bat sometimes. Sometimes you have to put things on the map and see how a situation is going to work. So what you want to know is, as far as practicing your team, because we do preach practice makes your team better, you want to get structured practice, you want to get knowledge of how to run the gauntlet, or as I actually called this episode, running the gauntlet, and how to properly structure your practice games and how to get good data, basically. So, and that's one of the things about practice as far as the game is concerned. I stress this deeply. You don't necessarily have to be part of a Heroclix team. You should have some friends that are like-minded in the sense that all you guys want to get better and practice your teams towards getting to the big tournament. And, just a group of friends, it goes a long way. As well, just a group of players that you play with on a regular basis that are willing to sit down for a night, have some snacks, have some chips, have some drinks. Though I don't suggest adult beverages at a store venue. If you're at home, by all means, whatever kind of lightens the mood, because you're in for a night in a lot of these cases in order to get the information you want. Now, all these nights have to start with the idea that one person each night isn't getting to practice their team, and you have to start to schedule several nights of practice. And the reason for that is each person has to take turns not practicing their team so that everybody gets the same amount of practice. And the reason I'm saying that is one person won't be practicing their teams. They will be, in fact, using everybody else's team, and not everybody at the table, everybody in the world's team. And one of the best resources to check this out is the ROC section on HC Realms, or check out majesticccg.com/apex-insiders. The Apex Insider site is a fantastic source for a lot of the Heroclix tournament, major tournament updates. Now, the reason you want these updates, believe it or not, there's a lot of people with unoriginal ideas that will see what's successful in these tournaments and play with these ideas. Or they're isolated from these ideas, and a good idea will show up in somebody else's head, because great minds think alike, or the natural conclusion to a good team can often repeat itself. So understand that if you thought you came up with a team and see it on one of these ROC things, and somebody you don't talk to, all that means is you and that guy came up with the same idea, and somebody else was probably bound to come up with the idea too. That's not a bad thing. Anyway, what you want to do is you want to have one guy take several of those teams, and that's when you want to go into practice with. So this guy is now what we refer to as the gauntlet. This guy plays all the other teams and tries to beat your teams the best that he can. Now, the best method to use with this is is what I refer to is play the weakness first. Sometimes you'll build a team and you'll know a figure or a specific type of strategy that might be problematic for your team. That is the first one you want to play against and expect to lose. And the reason you want to do that is when I play against, let's say I'm playing a team that loses against something along the lines of Phantom X, stays in the starting zone, doesn't have to leave the starting zone, can shoot very easily. Let's say I have a problem with a team like that. So what I want to do with a team against a team like that is I want to play the team, or I want to play my team against that team. And I want to see if I can actually come up with strategies that will beat that. Now, only do this if you expect to see that team, though in a lot of cases, like I said, expect to see the team that you're going to be weak against. And what you want to do, though you won't win every time in that case, what you want to figure out is if you can see situations where you can pull out a win, if certain maps can help you out. Though the first game you want to play is in their favor. All right. So going beyond that, the next thing you'll want to do is you want to play against other commonly used teams. Though you may think you have a strength against them, it's best to familiarize yourself with the strategies. But as well, the guy who's playing the familiar teams. So there's going to be people who are playing familiar teams and people who are practicing. If you're with the familiar teams, try to familiarize yourself with all the available strategies those teams have. It goes a long way for you because when you're piloting that team, you get the good mindset on things that you're thinking and things that other people are going to think with that team. So that it goes both ways in that sense, right? So, and then throughout the night, everybody takes turns playing against teams they're going to have problems with, and the dude who's playing with what we refer to as the metagame or is the familiar teams, he's going to get his turn next week. But make sure that guy gets his turn, because if he doesn't, he's now gained no data. Also, when you're playing with these people, understand that you guys aren't there to see who's the best. You're trying to make sure your teams work. This is data collection, not a pants dropping show off night, right? So understand, you're not there to show off. You're there to figure it out, right? Good data is good. Showing off is not data at all. Also, look at when you play a team. Look at what you get from it. If you played in a game where you got 3 critical misses and you didn't pull out a win, don't scrap the team. But understand that in that situation, you have to redress your strategy, right? So, I think it about covers most of the keys to a structured practice. Make sure it's friendly. Make sure everybody's there in the right mind, and make sure it takes several weeks or several sittings to do, so that everybody gets a good round of practice, everybody gets a chance to try their teams against things that they're not familiar with, and everybody gets a turn trying to be the meta so that you actually gain some insight into using those teams. That has been another week in Metafix. Thank you very much to our patrons for helping us decide on an episode once every month, and this one's for you guys. So, as always, never forget, guys, practice. It makes your team better.
The opinions and thoughts brought to you in Metafix are not meant for the casual game at the table.
Married with Clix is brought to you in part by MajesticCCG.com. Check out the new premium site with MajesticCCG.com/Apex-Insiders. Check the link below. Trust me. Trying to remember that from me talking? Not going to help. You'll get awesome articles at $3 a month, with the first month being free, from amazing writers such as Paris Gordon, Easton Brock, Aaron Cantu. I'm even going to be contributing occasionally. And if you're familiar with the Meta Lab, check out some of Mike Payne's articles. So check it out again, MajesticCCG.com/Apex-Insiders for your look into the minds of some of the greats.